Hello everyone. The subject expert for this program on SWOT analysis is Dr. A.S. Khanna, Assistant Professor of English, Silver Jubilee Government, College, Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. He has been teaching English for the last 14 years with good academic excellence, both at the UG and PG level. He also gave few online video lectures on communicative English and literature. He has got couple of books and many papers published to his credit. Today's episode is about SWOT analysis, a technique and one of the several strategic planning tools that one can perform with the best strategy for the future growth. In order to accomplish this task, the process involves 4 areas of consideration. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. It is a scientific tool for any individual or organizations to study these 4 elements for existing status and plan for future. To achieve stability in any organization, as a matter of fact, the management must familiarize people of the aims and objectives of the organization and a matter of importance known or get himself acquainted of the organization's vision and mission. SWOT focuses on how an individual who has a goal to and helps to reach it. It studies the internal and external factors that are favorable and unfavorable to reach the goal. Why SWOT is useful? The typical problem of today's youth is familiarity with many things and ignorance of own self. They know many things about Sachin and Dhoni and many more about Hollywood and Bollywood, but they do not know about themselves. That is why there are advertisements like, "Do you want to know about yourself? Contact us," in any daily newspapers. Whether you can think you can or you think you cannot, you are right, said Henry Ford. When we know better, we do better, is the axiom emphasizing the need and meaning of self-knowing skills. Know thyself, Socrates said long ago. This shows that a human quest for knowledge is ancient. Self-knowledge is all-encompassing. Whether it is learned through experience, can be applied to everything. Self-knowledge is the highest form of knowledge, surpassing all. In order to achieve in life, one has to know oneself and build strong personality, as people who use their talents to their fullest extent only will be successful. The quality of achieving the world depends on the quality of knowing self that precedes it. But on the path of exploring, you may suffer fewer problems if you know what weaknesses are. And if you manage these weaknesses, the path to excellence is easy. Therefore, in order to identify these strengths and weaknesses and analyzing the opportunities and challenges, SWOT analysis is proven to be the most useful technique. Advantages of SWOT analysis. The following are some of the advantages. SWOT analysis shows why people are unable to reach their goals in life. It helps to understand various ways to reach your goal. It is beneficial to recognize both the opportunities available and the threats to face. By realizing weaknesses, one can overcome and escape threats. Its framework makes you unique from your peers by showing your rare talents. It points out the need to boost your career and assists you to reach your personal goals. Knowing and using your strengths can make your potential and turns you a quality person. Used in an employment context, it stirs you to excel in your profession. It discloses opportunities that you need to be utilized. It also helps to peep into yourself so that you can draft your career plan and complete it successfully. Internal and external factors. SWOT explores two types of factors: the internal factor, which focuses on strengths and weaknesses, and the external factor, which focuses on opportunities and threats. Today we'll be looking at the two factors, how they help us for future growth. Helpful, harmful, internal factors, strengths, weaknesses, external factors, opportunities, threats, internal factors analysis. The internal analysis of strengths and weaknesses focuses on internal factors that give an organization certain advantages and disadvantages in meeting the needs of its target market. As a matter of fact, it should include its culture, resources, and unique qualities within its surroundings. As we already know that strengths and weaknesses are internal and personal factors. Strengths. Strengths are the qualities that enable us to accomplish the organization's mission. Strength is something that has a positive inference. It appends value or offers your organization a competitive advantage. Strengths include substantial assets such as available capital, equipment, credit, established and loyal customers, existing channels of distribution, copyrighted materials, patents, information and processing systems, and other valuable resources. Weaknesses. Weaknesses are the characteristics of your product or service that are harmful to growth. These weaknesses deteriorate influences on the organizational success and growth. The more accurately you identify your weaknesses, the more valuable the SWOT analysis will be. However, because weaknesses are by definition internal, there can be a lot of resistance to admitting to them. In fact, highlighting weaknesses can be synonymous with drawing attention to areas of the organization which have been badly managed or where poor decisions have been made. This can make it very difficult to talk about weaknesses objectively if you want to keep your job. We should not ignore the fact that the existing management will be responsible for the current state of the organization. This is often an obstacle to a full and frank admission of organizational weaknesses. Assuming that you do feel able to discuss your organization's weaknesses honestly, then it is important that you do so, because the more realistic your assessment is at this stage, the more value the SWOT analysis will have. Many organizations use a simple matrix to compare the importance and significance of each of its strengths and weaknesses, referred to as a performance importance matrix. The level of importance is often simply shown as high, medium, or low, with the degree of significance rated as key, significant, minor, or neutral. Key points in SWOT analysis. Strengths are internal factors that are helpful for achieving your organization's objective. Weaknesses are internal factors that are harmful for achieving your organization's objective. Opportunities are external factors that are helpful for achieving your organization's objective. Threats are external factors that are harmful for achieving your organization's objective. Some factors can be either strengths or weaknesses depending on the business objective. External factors analysis. External factors include the environment your organization operates in, its market, ecosystem, and all of the third parties involved. As you identify these external factors, you should classify them into potential opportunities and threats. It also takes a look at the opportunities and threats existing in organization's environment. Both opportunities and threats are independent from the organization. Opportunities. Opportunities can occur for a variety of reasons and may result from changes within the market, customer lifestyle changes, advances in technology, new production methods. These opportunities for growth can also occur from a resolution of a problem associated with your current product. For example, Toyota's market share rose considerably once its cars were known to be reliable. Successful organizations are constantly reviewing their market and services to see how they can increase their market share. Opportunities have a wide variety of origins. In recent years, the increased pace of technological change has enabled many organizations to achieve rapid growth using outsourcing and offshoring. Alterations in the structure of markets, along with changing social and lifestyle patterns, also provide opportunities for expansion. For example, most supermarkets provide a vast range of everyday products from books to power tools. Having begun as little more than large grocery stores, they have taken the opportunities offered by changing lifestyles to cater to the need of one-stop shopping by people of both sexes who work full-time and prefer to buy everything they need from as few shops as possible. Threats. The final part of the SWOT process involves assessing the external risks of organization faces. These are referred to as threats and are made up of external factors that are beyond your control. Even though they are external, which means that you have little or no control over them, your organization should consider making contingency plans, no matter how sketchy. This will ensure that you are not taken completely by surprise, but perhaps more importantly, it can put items on the agenda for discussion that people may be more comfortable ignoring. The greater your ability to identify potential threats, the more proactive you will be able to be in your planning for and responding to such events. Anticipating and responding to your competitors' actions is one of the biggest challenges your organization has to face and clearly indicates the need for gathering good market intelligence. There are many threats that are associated significantly with the supply chain. For instance, your organization could increase their prices, transport costs, or terms and conditions in a way that is harmful to you. This change may come about because of a change in increasing raw material costs or labor costs. Changes within the market itself can pose a threat to the organization, such as a new market entrant who significantly changes the product offering. There may also be unexpected changes in consumer behavior that can significantly impact your product sales. For example, the almost universal social acceptance of copyright theft in the form of illegal downloading has meant that something that was once a minority activity is now ubiquitous. The important point here is not that the enabling technology became available, but that so many people who would never normally take something without paying for it now routinely do exactly that. These type of changes in behavior are almost impossible to predict, can be quite sudden, and have far-reaching consequences. Other potential threats are far more predictable. For example, the effects of the economic cycle. Developed economies routinely undergo what are popularly known as boom and bust phases. Discussing the threat of economic recession can seem unnecessarily pessimistic when the economy is booming, but investment in new capacity and product development is always most tempting at the top of the boom, exactly when it represents the biggest threat. Identifying potential threats is a key part of the SWOT analysis. During this stage of the process, individuals should not be hesitant in bringing their worst fears to the discussions. Some issues may be highly speculative, but debating them adds value to the SWOT analysis. When assessing the likelihood of either of these external aspects, many organizations use a matrix for the opportunities and threats that compares the probability of it happening with the impact it may have on the organization. You can apply a score to each issue, and where this factor has a high score on both the likelihood of it occurring and the likelihood impact on the organization, it should be investigated thoroughly. External factors include the environment your organization operates in, its market, ecosystem, and all of the third parties involved. The market includes all of your customers. The ecosystem includes the technological, social, economic, and political environment that you operate in. Opportunities can result from changes within the market, customer lifestyle changes, advances in technology, or new production methods. Threats are external factors that are beyond your control and can originate in the supply chain from changes in consumer behavior, from the economic cycle, etc. Purpose of SWOT analysis. The purpose of SWOT analysis is to gather, analyze, and evaluate information and identify strategic options facing a community, organization, or individual at a given time. SWOT analysis is a very effective way of identifying strengths and weaknesses and of examining the opportunities and threats one tends to face. Carrying out an analysis using the SWOT framework helps to focus activities into areas where one is strong and where the greatest opportunities lie. This knowledge is then used to develop a plan of action. The analysis can be performed on a product, on a service, a company, or even on an individual. Done properly, SWOT will give the big picture of the most important factors that influence survival and prosperity, as well as a plan to act on. Strengths and weaknesses are internal, while opportunities and threats are external. Strengths and weaknesses have to be matched with the opportunities in the external environment and also to counter any threats that might pose a danger to plans. SWOT analysis is generally considered a marketing tool, but although it has its origins in marketing field and is predominantly used by marketing people, and it can also be done for self. SWOT analysis is a tool which guides one to see where one stands in terms of job prospects and career growth. You should do a personal SWOT analysis because it will tell you what are your strong points and how can you further brush them up to exploit them to get a good job. It will also show you your negative character traits that can hinder your chances of getting a good job. You can then work towards overcoming those shortcomings and minimizing their effects. Your strengths will tell you the jobs and the kind of work you are best for, hence making it easier to avail the right opportunities. Threats will show you the skills, courses, and training you need in order to remain competitive. The purpose of a strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats framework is to get managers thinking about everything that could potentially impact the success of a new project. Failure to consider a key strength, weakness, threat, or opportunity could lead to a poor business decision. For example, if the tech company with the patent for a new processor did not recognize the threat that its competitors were developing similar products, it might overestimate the sales potential of the new processor and take on debt to fund the development of the processor, only to discover that the new product does not bring in enough revenue to pay off the debt. In other words, a strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats brainwork can help managers avoid making costly mistakes and determine which projects are most likely to succeed. SWOT analysis is used to study an individual's or organization's strengths and weaknesses relative to its competitors. In addition, organizations need to analyze certain superfluous variables, including government regulation, before completing a SWOT analysis. How to analyze the internal factors in the management. The primary step in the management analysis is identifying key strengths of an organization. These strengths can include a strong brand name, plenty of working capital, a good reputation among customers, and even strong distribution networks like social media. However, we should also analyze the strengths of opposite as well, which provides a better evaluation of how a company can potentially experience in the marketplace. Similarly, companies also need to look at their primary weaknesses like inexperienced management or poor management and poor reputation among the customers besides strengths. Weaknesses are the qualities that prevent us from accomplishing our mission and achieving our full potential. For example, a company's weakness may have limited access to natural resources, but they may not have access to the best natural resources. A company usually has less control of external factors. For example, opportunities can include a new market such as the internet or a potential merger with another company in the share market. A new competitor or a potential price war is a potential threat. The goal of the management SWOT analysis enables a company ultimately determines how to take advantage of opportunities and lessen the impact of threats. In the recent times, we find that the internet became a new way to market products in the 21st century. We can go out of business and provide a company with a new market segment in which to sell its products to the customers. However, some factors can be either strengths or weaknesses depending upon the business objective. For example, a large number of distributors could be strength if your objective is to place your products in as many outlets as possible. But it could be a weakness if your objective was to control your retail prices and prevent discounting. The strength of the SWOT analysis comes from the fact that it can be applied to many different organizational scenarios, but its weakness is that it requires clear thinking and good judgment to obtain any true value from using it. You will always often see SWOT analysis for an organization in which no specific business objective has been stated. These top-level SWOTs can have value in guiding strategy at the very highest level, but when a potential strategy has been identified and is being considered as a business objective, then additional SWOTs will be required at this lower level. Remember, when you are using the SWOT analysis technique, the processes of clearly identifying the business objective and categorizing the SWOT factors are equally important because they are interdependent. Considerations. Like all business tools, there are certain advantages and disadvantages to using a management SWOT analysis. One of them of a SWOT analysis is that it is easy to perform and the only cost is the time committed to it. They usually match their strengths and weaknesses against external variables like opportunities and threats, so they can develop certain selling strategies based on what they find in their external environment. This marketing analysis tool should also address the opportunities and threats that a company faces in the present and potentially in the future. They should also consider conducting marketing research surveys before implementing any marketing strategies. For example, a small TV manufacturer can exploit its strong brand image, perhaps strength, in a market filled with low-priced, lower-quality TV, an opportunity. Because of a certain new trend and image, it might be able to gain market share by slightly lowering its price in this particular market section. How to analyze the external factors in the management. Opportunities and threats are the external, uncontrollable factors that usually signify the changes in the organization. Opportunities represent the external situations that bring a competitive advantage. Threats may damage your company. The present analysis is a comprehensive look at a company's external factors it faces in the market along with strengths and weaknesses. As it is already said that the company usually starts analysis by studying its strengths, such as a strong brand name or a good reputation, and weaknesses, like inexperienced management or poor distribution. Subsequently, an external management analysis enables a company to ultimately determine how it can exploit its strengths and minimize weaknesses to compete. Competitors usually react to your progress and external changes. They also change their existing strategies or introduce new ones. Therefore, the company must always follow the actions of its competitors, as new opportunities and threats may open at any time. The external factors are a detailed look at the industry in which a company operates. Any company that sells a product in the market needs to know the customers and the competitors it faces in the market. A company should examine other external factors like new laws, or relaxing of tariffs, or any other variable that can affect a company's business. Similarly, most of the external changes can represent both opportunities and threats. For example, exchange rates may increase or reduce the profits gained from exports. This depends on the exchange rate, which may rise, opportunity, or fall, threat against the home country currency. In such cases, when an organization cannot identify if the external factor will affect it positively or negatively, it should gather unbiased and reliable information from the external sources and make the best possible judgments. When we apply these factors to the Times of India, it has lots of strengths across the country. But some people have the perception that Times of India publishing more celebrity or entertainment news and there is a tough competition means limited scope for increasing market share. It has a limited presence in southern India as compared to the rest of India. Huge opportunity in regional languages, space better usage and interaction with online and mobile mediums. But there are a lot of threats to its business due to the increased competition from other dailies like The Hindu, the Hindustan Times and the Indian Express. SWOT analysis example. Why T in SWOT changed to be C? The term threat is originated from military strategy which gives a negative meaning. Using C as challenge or constraints is recommended to create more positive attitude. We need to focus on our strengths, stand by weaknesses, capitalize on opportunities and recognize your threats. SWOT analysis for new business. A SWOT analysis is most commonly used as part of a marketing plan, but it is also a good tool for general business strategizing and to use as a starting point for the successful growth. SWOT analysis can uncover lots of information and can be useful for many young startup entrepreneurs. You should think about the attributes of yourself and your business that will help you achieve your objective. Strengths. What merits do you have that others don't have? For example, skills, certifications, education. What do you do better than anyone else? What personal resources can you utilize? What do other people see as your strengths? Which talent makes you most proud of? What values do you have than others? Do you have friends who motivate you? What do you do better than your competitors? Where are you most profitable in your business? Weaknesses. In order to get rid of these weaknesses, you should think about the attributes of yourself and your business that could hurt your progress in achieving your objective. What tasks do you usually avoid due to fear of failure? In what areas do you need to improve? What resources do you lack? What parts of your business are not very profitable? Are you completely confident of your subject learning? If not, where? What are your negative work habits? For example, late, short temper. Do you have personality traits that hold you back in your field? For example, public fear. Opportunities. For capitalizing the opportunities, you need to think about the external conditions that will help you achieve your objective. What new subject can help you more? How can you do more for your existing customers or clients? How can you take advantage of the sources? How do you tackle a difficult subject when others fear? In which area do you not have complaint comparatively with others? How can you use technology to enhance your business? Threats. For this, you think about the external conditions that could damage your business's performance. What obstacles do you face currently? What are the strengths of your biggest competitors? What's going on in the economy? What's going on in the industry? Could any of your weaknesses lead to failure? Solutions to SWOT analysis. We can create a plan to build up your strengths and find the ways you can work on building up your weaknesses. We also need to set up SMART goals for each opportunity that is identified in the business. Hence, we should use proper plan of action to use strengths to decrease threats which are identified in the process of business. As a result, strengths and opportunities will together develop new strategies. When we combine strengths and threats, we can easily eliminate threats with new strategies. Similarly, when you look at your weaknesses and opportunities, you will try to create a list of areas ready for improvement or the growth of the business and avoid the areas carefully which will fall under weaknesses and threats. Hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. That is all that we had for you in this episode. Till the next time, it's a goodbye.